So Sha'Carri Richardson speaks out about her positive test after qualifying for the 2020 Olympics. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Marquita Show podcast, the podcast where I talk about everything from politics to pop culture and everything in between. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for post notifications so you get notified every single time I post. That would be awesome. And if you are not following me on my social media, make sure to do so. The links will be down below in the description box. So I know everybody has probably heard about Sha'Carri Richardson. She is a track superstar. She was a student at LSU. Well, she set a personal best, I think, of 10.75 for the 100-meter dash. So the girl is fast. And she qualified for the 2020 Olympics. In trials, I think she ran a 10.85. Unfortunately, we got news earlier today that she will be on a 30-day suspension due to her testing positive to a drug test. Now, this was disappointing to a lot of folks, me included. I thought she was well-spoken. Now, her hair color, she is a little bit out there, but, that's what makes people unique. She also released a statement today, which I find very, very fast for a person that, is going through a scandal to just release something like this quick. I know she also posted on Twitter. She made a statement of "I am human." Very vague, not really saying much, but she did open up in an interview and talk a little bit more about what was going on. So as always, I'm going to play a bit of that interview and then we're going to talk about it.
And I know you wanted to tell your story. So tell me, what happened? What led up to this positive test?
Just honestly, I want to take responsibility for my actions. I know what I did. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm allowed not to do, and I still made that decision. But not making an excuse or looking for any empathy in my case, but just, however, being in that position of my life, finding out something like that, something that I would say is probably one of the biggest things that have impacted me positively and negatively in my life when it comes to dealing with the relationship I have with my mother. So that definitely was a very heavy topic on me.
But there is a chance. It's a small chance, but there's a chance you could go to the Olympics and take part in the relay. Are you hopeful for that? Is that what you're holding out hope for at this moment?
Right now, I'm just putting all of my time and energy into dealing with what I need to deal with to heal myself. So if I'm allowed to receive that blessing, then I'm grateful for it. But if not right now, I'm going to just focus on myself.
What would your message be to those who are considering that right now, who are thinking about that, and to your fans, who have fallen in love with you and were so proud of your performance and maybe crushed just as you are in that moment? What would you want to say to them?
I would like to say to my fans, to my family, to my sponsorship, to the haters too. I apologize as much as I'm disappointed. I know that when I swim on the track, I don't represent myself. I represent a community that has shown me great support, great love. And to y'all, I failed y'all. And so I apologize for the fact that I didn't know how to control my emotions or deal with my emotions during that time. And what I would just leave with my fans, or I would just leave out there, is that, like I tweeted and said yesterday, I'm human. We're human. My statement, what I always say in my interviews, I want to be as transparent as possible with you guys.
Okay, so you just watched that interview, and it was just snippets. I chopped it up a little bit because it was long, but I will leave the link to the full video down below in the description box. But let's go ahead and get into this analysis. Now, I am kind of biased because I was rocking with Shacari. I think she's dope. I think she's amazing, and I think she's very humble. I've heard a lot of apologies from athletes, from actors, from everybody in the entertainment industry. And her apology, for some reason, it resonated with me. And for one, it was I. I'm always big on accountability. She didn't blame anyone but herself. She said she knew exactly what she was doing. She went against the rules and she's facing her consequences. She didn't even let the fact that her mother had just passed away interfere with that. She was accountable. She also stated that she needed to find better ways of coping. I love like there's nothing I respect more than a person that can take accountability for their actions. That's all I ask. If you watch my channel on a regular basis, you know I'm all for accountability. She could have definitely took the route of white supremacy, of systematic racism, bias, all of that. She definitely had the opportunity to do that, and she refrained from doing it. She took personal accountability. I think in my eyes, that just pumps her up another level. I can hear the hurt in her voice. She is very hurt about what happened. Luckily for her, it was a 30-day suspension, so she still may get a chance to run in a relay. But I think later on in the interview, she also states that she's going to come back better. She has a lot more in her. She's young. She's only 21. And I don't know. I just love that about her. I love the fact that she did, and she could have easily took um, the white supremacy way out, the systematic racism out. I see a lot of people on social media talking about it's unfair, but rules are rules. If you don't like the rules, work to change them. They're like, it's not a performing enhancing drug. Well, you should read into the rules and figure out what makes it qualify as that. Just because one person that you like has now been disqualified and you feel some type of way about it, you feel like you're supposed to throw out the whole rule book for one person. It just doesn't work like that. And the fact that you have everybody else trying to make up an excuse for her, and she's taking personal accountability and responsibility for her actions, I think that speaks volumes, especially now in this age when you see so many people using the systematic racism way out. That came with Gwen, what's her name? Gwen Berry? Is that her name? Sorry, forgive me for not remembering her name. I have saw it everywhere about her turning her back on a flag, and she's trying to backpedal now because of some stuff, but she shouted, this country is systematically racist, and a whole lot of stuff, but that's a story for another day. But Sha'Carri, she stood in her mistake. Again, she's only human. That's just really why I rocked with her and rocked with her statement, is just for the fact that she never blamed anyone. She blamed herself, and clearly she was visually upset about what happened. And again, she is young. She has a lot more races, so I can definitely rock with what she said. I know there's people that's going to be on the opposing side, but I don't know what else to say that she didn't already cover. Again, she said what she did was wrong. If you can't accept that, then too bad for you. So anyway, she hasn't spewed any American rhetoric. She seems to be a team player. She seems to have a positive out attitude. And just a bad thing to a good person. It happens. Again, she's human. She took accountability for it. What more can you ask from this young lady? She is also part of the LGBTQ community, but you don't see her flashing that. She's I feel like she's just very humble. She comes from humble beginnings, and again, that's the American dream, right? Rags to riches. She is a humble beginning person. I think her family life, her home life was not as stable as it probably could have been. Her mom, because I noticed they keep saying her biological mom. I'm like, who says biological mom? when you just say mom. So I'm thinking there's some issues there. Even in this interview, she kind of, grazed over it a little bit or insinuated that there was some kind of issue there. I think her mom was, not her mom, her grandma was at the qualifying race for the Olympics. And you saw the embrace, and it was a very motherly embrace. So I got the insinuation that she was probably the one that cared for her growing up, and maybe her mom wasn't as present as she wanted her to be. So it's definitely a story that a lot of us can probably relate to. And so that's just overall what makes me really enjoy and really excited to see her and see her do well. So, yeah, consequences are consequences. She did break the rules. I feel like for the most part, she's probably upset, but at this point, you just have to accept it. And she sucked it up. She took accountability, and she's gonna rock on with it. I feel like she'll go on to be successful. And for all the people that are kind of like, well, they shouldn't have did that. That wasn't right. It's only this. It's only that. But there are rules, and at this point, nobody is above rules. Now, when we start, setting the person above certain rules, it becomes unfair. And I didn't think that's what we were asking for as Americans. We want everybody to be treated equal. And, if we give her a pass, then, we got to give everybody a pass, right? Not just her. A lot of people like to bring in the Michael Phelps situation because he got caught. I'm not too familiar with his situation, but I will speak on it a little bit because I heard from people I rely on, other people that I watch, and they're pretty good about putting out accurate information. Well, in his case, Sha'Carri got a 30-day suspension, whereas Michael Phelps got a 3-month suspension. And I think his situation happened well before his events were coming up, whereas hers is happening in a month. So he was still able to compete. Because we all know they're gonna pin it as a what situation. But I'm like, if the person doesn't say that they feel like it's a racial issue, then leave it alone. She took her accountability for it. She said it was her. Now let the girl live. Let the girl live, because she's hurt enough, and it's clear that she's hurt enough. So, to the people that are saying, oh, this is, racist or white supremacy or systematic racism, I don't think that's the case. These rules have have been in effect for a very long time. She also admitted that she knew the rules and that she did not abide by them. So let her take her consequence. Let her take her punishment in stride and be glorious, right? So yeah, that's all I have to say with this video. And of course, I want to know your take on it. Do you believe her apology was sincere? Do you think her punishment was fair? Or if you're on the other side, do you think it was systematic racism that led to this happening to her or to her situation? Let me know down below in the comments. As always, guys, I love you. One vibe, one tribe. This is